welcome to Meet in the Middle Movies. I'm Mindy.
I'm Elin.
And we're that weird bald couple at the cinema. We sure stand out. So we're on our way to go see the movie Nuremberg. Elin's going to tell you a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it is a historical drama about the Nuremberg trials where the, I guess what now is the International Criminal Court held accountable the Nazi regime post-World War II. It's starring Rami Malek and Russell Crowe, so you know the performances are going to be pretty intense and pretty great.
Right. We're going to talk about some of our expectations for that, but can I also just comment on the fact that this movie appeared out of nowhere?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of, big-timey movies, you're hearing about it for like a year or something like that. This was just like a few weeks ago that we heard about it, but It looks incredible. It looks so good. So I gotta say that, I'm not sure that it has to have a ton of marketing to be a great movie, but hopefully the lack of marketing doesn't hurt its numbers if it is a great movie. So I have a couple of expectations for this. I think we're gonna see award-winning performances.
Award-winning?
Yes.
Okay.
I think this is going to be way bigger than anybody realizes right now. Just watching the preview, I got that sense. There's something great going on here. And then my second expectation is to get a little more historical context into this period. I just think that maybe I shouldn't go to the movies to learn about history. But I do, and it's not just because I'm going to watch it and take everything they say for granted that it's true.
Yeah.
It gets me more interested in learning about that thing, whatever it is. Even, this might sound a little silly, but even The Greatest Showman got me interested in learning about P.T. Barnum, and of course learning that he's nothing like...
It was all crap.
It was all total crap, but it's still a great musical, so I don't actually mind when there's like a historical... In that case, it was a historical fiction that they took a lot of liberties with. Do you know more about if these are actual key players or if it's fiction?
Russell Crowe is actually playing, I want to say it's one of the big wigs that were one of the right hands of Hitler, and this is based on a true story. And Rami Malek plays a psychiatrist who is basically going in and talking with him and helping the judge decide whether he's fit for trial or not.
Right. So I understand certain liberties are taken to make a movie about something, but it at least sparks my interest, and I always learn something. Whether I enjoy the movie separately and then learn afterwards. Maybe I learn it's totally accurate, or maybe it wasn't. But I'm expecting to learn something. That's my second thing. What about yours?
I am expecting this to be. Unfortunately, I'm expecting this to be our September 5 of 2025, where we come out thinking why is this not getting more attention? Right. But unfortunately, it's not going to get attention. I think it's going to be. I'm expecting this. Honestly, I'm expecting this to be in my top 10. Okay. I've got high expectations for this. I expect to walk out of this movie feeling absolutely worn out because it is a 2.5 hour long historical drama on something that is very, very, very heavy. So those are my expectations. I think this is going to be a great movie. I don't think, unfortunately, I disagree with you. I don't think it will get a lot of awards recognition or attention because the names have already kind of separated themselves and this one's not appearing. I could be wrong though.
It's okay. You're allowed to be wrong.
But I do think this is going to be. I've got high expectations, and I think it's going to be a pretty heavy film.
Yeah, very good. All right, so we're on our way now. We'll let you know what we think after. We are out of the theater from the movie Nuremberg, and I think last time we started with my point of view, so we'll go ahead and go to Elin first.
That movie. All right, everything I'm about to say may sound negative, but everyone should see this movie. Holy cow. You got to be ready for it. It is a really heavy movie. Like, that might be the heaviest experience I've ever had in a movie theater during one specific scene. You got to look up trigger warnings. They do not hold any punches in this thing, and makes you kind of feel like you're witnessing this part of history. Correction, it was not a form of the International Criminals Court. It was actually a military tribunal put together by the governments of the Allied nations. So I did mess that up. Russell Crowe and Rami Malek, they're not going to get any awards attention for this, unfortunately, I don't think, based on early award season chatter. But damn, they should. They were absolutely phenomenal. This might be Sinners was my #1 movie of the year right now, and it probably still is. But the big reason why was the ensemble. This might be the best ensemble of the year. I mean, it's not just the two that we mentioned. It's some other ones that I can't. There's just so many. Michael Shannon was absolutely fantastic in this as well. Just rave reviews as far as I'm concerned. Again, really, really heavy. They do a really, really good job of, again, putting you in. I got to get my thoughts together. That was...
We're reeling after that one.
Yeah, that was a reeling type experience.
Yeah, and I will be fascinated to know. I want to do a little bit of a side-by-side as much as I can research of what they covered in the trial in the movie and what was actually covered in the trial, or maybe for the purposes of the movie, they decided to cover some information to give us historical context. I'm not sure. At the beginning of this movie, it felt like they did do a lot of viewer hand-holding where they're kind of explaining. So there's a device used in film where you have one character that knows nothing so that everybody else around them can fill them in, and but what they're really filling in the audience, right? And that kept happening at the beginning. Sometimes I roll my eyes at that device a little bit.
That was necessary.
This time I needed it. Yeah, I did. I know that the things that happened at that time were atrocious. I just don't know all the details on the trials that took place afterwards. So I needed the context, and I actually appreciated it that time. But like I said, I do want to do some research. I don't want to just take a movie's word for something.
They did Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the effect that this movie had on me. I am shooketh.
Yeah.
Wow. And I will say that obviously the performances were fantastic. It's a difficult piece of history to revisit even in the media, but I would absolutely recommend it. Fascinating to learn about. So fascinating, emotional, and I think it was quite an experience.
With them putting you in that moment in history, they humanize everyone.
Yes, everybody.
And I do mean everyone.
Yeah.
Is humanized. You see fears, you see ups, you see really disturbing reactions from people based on the predicament that they're in. We're gonna have a spoiler review coming out later, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Yeah. Cannot wait to dive into that.
This for sure shot up to #1 on my list.
Really?
Sorry, I think I cut you off.
No, you're good.
But I just want to say, like, get your butt in that theater seat.
Yeah.
Go see that movie.
It is a little interesting. I thought that it was interesting that it felt like two movies, because the first, this is a 2.5 hour long movie, so it's a marathon. But the first half didn't feel like a slog. Everything was moving quickly. There was even some humorous points. But then when a certain trigger event happens, it gets dark, and it just stays there to where you just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. That was my experience
as well. I'm glad that they took the pacing that way.
Yeah.
Because I think it drove their points home even more. So.
Well, and it's just, it makes you sit with the atrocities and the horrible things that is being prosecuted that much longer. And there is a scene where you feel the entire movie just slowly throughout the scene turn.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say that during this movie you do see some footage of the Holocaust, of the concentration camps.
Yes.
So that's heavy.
Yeah, it's
really heavy.
It's the only time I've ever felt sick to my stomach in a movie theater. Like that's how effective they did this scene. Whoa, dude. I don't really know what else there is to say. I mean, this is just... I'm flabbergasted right now, and it will probably be a lot more concise and better with our spoiler review when we can get into spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we gotta score the thing.
Yeah. This was... I don't want to just easily give something a 10, but it was a 10 for me. It shot up to it was incredible. It was well paced, it was well shot, it was well written, it was well acted, directed. I think, and again, I'm going to double check this. Maybe I'll correct it in a future video if I really need to, but I really got the sense that the filmmakers did their research here. So I was just floored by this movie.
Give Rami Malek and Russell Crowe each another Oscar.
Yeah.
And give Michael Shannon his Oscar for crying out loud. He's one of the best actors out there, and he kills it in this role.
Yeah.
So you give it a 10?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a 9.
Okay.
So that's pretty easy. That's a meet in the middle score of what, 9.5 at 19? Yeah, 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Guys, you've got to see this movie.
Get to the theater.
You've got to see this movie and let it do what it's designed to do to you.
Yeah.
And that's a really weird thing to say, considering it is designed to just
kind of destroy you a little bit.
But yeah. It's it was very effective and very, very good.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah. So I think that's about it. Today's a double feature. I'm so glad we saw this one first, because we've got our viewing and, of course, non-spoiler review of Predator Badlands coming at you later on. So we're going to see Predator Badlands, but Nuremberg, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. So thanks again for joining us. You stay bold, we'll stay bald, and we'll see you next time.